Join me to literally and figuratively unpack from an art fair that wasn't really an art fair. And I will share with you specific money amounts of what I spent and then what I made and what I'm going to do about um, the discrepancy in, the lack of profit. Okay, so I'll tell you about it while I clean up. I don't know about you, but in the days and weeks leading up to an art show or a festival, everything goes everywhere in my home studio. And so after at least a day of recovering, I can then turn my attention to unpacking everything, straightening it up, taking notes as I take things out to remind myself of what I want to remember for the next event. So after this event, I definitely needed a day to rest. And what I'm doing here, though, is not just unpacking and straightening up, but I'm actually sort of resorting things for the next event. So I'm going to put them together in one area of the studio so they'll be ready to go. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to tell you the numbers, how it all worked out. Okay, I'll just get right to it. I spent a total of $3,500, and that included the tent fee, some display stuff for the tent, the cost of making prints and cards, and the cost of making tote bags, including buying the heat press. Now, if this year goes the way I think it will, I will more than make up this amount. In fact, it should be a pretty satisfying profit. But I did think at this event, especially since I made a product specifically for the folks at the Seafood Fest, these tote bags, I thought that I would make at least $1,000, $2,000, but instead I made $550. And this was a surprise. The tent fee itself was $510, and that's something that I split between myself and my tent mates. But essentially, this event and the low sales led me to make the decision to go ahead and do the Sunset Hill Walking Art Fair again from my house, in front of my house. The first one that we did was in 2020 in the summer, and it was just the best. Everybody really wanted to get out of their houses, and it was a really, really, really wonderful thing. And so this is the 5th annual Walking Art Fair. Our local community club has started to organize it. The first one was organized by somebody who lived in the neighborhood, and we all just kind of helped out. But now it's kind of a little bit more official. So I really look forward to doing this, and I think I've had some good success selling work from in front of my house. And so, oh, look at my studio is all neat and tidy now. Anyway, I look forward to doing this, but I also need to look at my front garden beds because they've been a little bit neglected by me. But also it looks quite neglected, but in fact, we had planted wildflower seeds in these beds this spring because we wanted to try attracting birds and pollinators, and it did the trick. And as you can see, the birds love the seeds on this particular wildflower. So I decided if I'm going to clean up these beds, I'm not going to clean everything up. We're going to keep things still a little bit wild. But what I would do is I would weed out the flowers that were kind of spent and getting brown, and then intersperse them with some annual and perennial flowers with the wildflowers, so that they just kind of refreshes the beds a little bit. So that is exactly what I did. And this little walkway in between the two garden beds will be the place where I will have some kind of refreshment served, maybe some lemonade or iced tea. And then my neighbors offered to, or agreed to, let me use their lawn area too, to put up some tables, and I'll have grid walls hanging original art as well. And yeah, so looking at these garden beds, this year we're having the aesthetic of abandoned castle, and I think it's still going to stay that way. But I'm going to go ahead and trim the sides that are kind of overhanging the sidewalk. But this looks nice, a little bit more intentional looking, I suppose. But as you can see, it's really overhanging on the sidewalk, so I'll trim that up a little bit too. So that's my plan. We're going to have a great afternoon underneath the shade of this beautiful tree, and hopefully I will sell a lot of art and get back on track. But even if it doesn't work out, I still have another summer sale coming up, not to mention the holidays. And I also connected with one of my favorite framing shops, and they have actually offered to sell some of my tote bags and art prints. So that's where we are. I'm pretty much debriefed from this weekend, and I'm really ready to do the walking art fair in about, 10 days from now. And so as you can see, I just took the boxes from last weekend, and they contain a lot of the things that I'll need for that upcoming weekend. I also have some more totes to print here in my little printing station area. And I might even have time to do a little painting. I think I would like to have a few new little pieces by the weekend of the art fair, the walking art fair. And and I would love to take you along for that as well. I really needed to go ahead and make this video for today's post, because it would be strange not to talk about how that all went. But I'm really looking forward to actually talking about art coming up here and doing some painting. So thanks for watching, and we will chat soon.